So welcome everybody to this empathy circle focusing on anger. Um, and I know I've certainly been dealing with a lot more anger in the past few years. And some of it, I think maybe is just my own healing, allowing myself to feel anger. I certainly didn't allow myself to feel it when I was younger. I would flee it. I would run away. And I wouldn't even notice I was angry. Um, yeah. And certainly with all kinds. I put in the email today, a reminder email to folks if they wanted to sign up. You know, there's all these divides. Otto Scharmer says we're collectively co-creating a world we don't want. Right. These ecological divides and social divides and economic divides. The division just seems to be getting bigger and bigger, especially sometimes the economic ones. Right? How many billionaires, like not even that many, own more wealth than the rest of the like half of the planet and stuff like that. Like these stats are quite divisive, I guess you could say. Anywho, so we're going to dive into anger, and as we do, we're going to begin with a centering and a little grounding to touch into where you might have anger in your life. And I'm just going to share my screen briefly before we do that, because I have Brene Brown's book, The Atlas of the Heart. And she shares in that book this graphic, which was created by Wholehearted School Counseling. And it says, behind this anger might be, and there's a bunch of things that are named there. You can see fear and hurt, anxiety, depression, loneliness, embarrassment, et cetera, shame, guilt, and many others. And so I'm going to invite us today to not only notice the anger and why the anger might be there, but also what might be underneath it, which might be why it's there, right? Like the cause of it, that something came first and then the anger might have come. So you might have that pattern in you. It's a common pattern to have anger as a response to something. And so we might explore both the anger and its context, the environment that created it. Yeah. Okay, that's enough talking. I'll invite us all now to maybe look around. You might want to let your system know where you are and what's happening. And as you do that, you might notice your body needs something. It needs to stretch something or roll. So just attending to your muscles and posture, whatever you need to feel more at ease. And when you're ready, I'll invite you to come to a place of stillness and maybe close your eyes or lower your gaze, or do something that helps you bring your attention more to the internal body. And we might start by just noticing either our breath or our heartbeat. How are we arriving? And I'll invite you to notice what you might need. You might need some slower breaths. Maybe you might extend your exhale. To slow the system down, to notice subtle sensations in the body. Or you might need a faster breath. You might be sleepy, so you might want to breathe a bit faster to wake up and be active enough for focusing. We need that sweet spot. And then maybe inviting you to feel your feet on the floor and the support of the chair. And then I'll invite you to place one hand on your heart space and the other hand either on your cheek or both hands on the heart or maybe one on the belly. And we can just hang out here for a moment and cultivate some self care, that self touch that slowly wakes up our heart energy. So helpful for our focusing attitude. And then you might deepen that by doing some heart breathing. So, this is imagining breathing out in and out of your heart space. And I'll give you a moment to do anything else you need to arrive in a more centered, grounded place before we dive into anger. So, we're going to invite the body to bring something that we're angry about, or maybe you already have something in mind that you know you've been dealing with that brings anger, and you might to help bring you to might want to furrow your brow a little bit or put your hands in fists or move forward a bit. That posture of anger could help. Or maybe it comes as a memory. Or, like I said, you might have a topic that you know is related to anger and you invite that in with your mind. But just taking a moment to find something connected to anger. And you might be with a number of things. You might want to explore how your body holds anger and go to a few things. And then inviting you to notice how that's coming in your body. Where might you be noticing physical sensations now? And welcoming those to come. You might notice where you have it, and maybe their shape, their size of the sensations, or maybe they have a texture, or maybe they move. Maybe you notice a gesture your body wants to make, or a movement, a posture. Noticing anything else that's there, temperature, color. And then you might ask the anger, maybe just what it wants you to know. And then you might notice if something else comes, if another emotion is there. Maybe it was there first. Maybe as you sink in and sense in with this topic, maybe more comes. Other emotions or thoughts. And if something else has come, or even if you're still with the anger, you might just ask it what it needs. Whatever your felt sense is telling you now, whatever's present now, what does it need? And then slowly inviting you to round the experience off. And in a moment, we'll do our first round of the empathy circle. Invite somebody to volunteer to focus, and you might sense in if you'd like to do that. And you can let it know that we'll have breakout rooms after the 2 rounds of empathy circles. You'll be able to come back to it and be with it with somebody holding space for you. So yeah, when you're ready, coming back. Hmm. So, who would like to go first? Mark? Oh, you're muted.
If no one else wants to strongly, I would like to. But if others want to go strongly, I want them to go first.
I'm laughing because it's funny how often people say that.
It's like I don't want to admit that I want to go because all these other folks are here and I don't want to. Yeah.
I don't see anybody else putting their hand up. So how about I spotlight you?
I notice I'm quietly withholding my impulse to say I want to go because I'm a man and I'm used
Right,
to
right, right.
feeling
Yeah,
entitled to go first.
Uh,
exactly. Yeah.
um, well, now I've already spotlighted us. Um,
I decided to complicate things.
yeah. I was just thinking, oh, it would be nice to have a man and a woman go in a sense, because women off. Let me wait, I'll just take this
Right.
off. Let's just
Yeah.
talk amongst all of us, right? Women often push the anger down. Men are much more socialized to be allowed to be angry. And so in some ways, part of me is going now, both of you should wait. If a women go first, and then we'll see who wants to go second. And what could be you, Mark, or it could be you, Jeff.
Yeah,
That
because I
totally
don't
works
mind
for me. I vote for
fighting
that.
the other man, but I don't want to fight a woman. Because it's the worst. Oh my goodness.
Yep, I relate to that.
Right?
Way
Yeah.
to get everybody's disapproval.
I can go.
Yeah. Okay. Women first.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we're doing that. Okay. So now I change the spotlights. Okay, here we go. Add a spotlight. Okay. Hi, Ivana. We'll do about 10 minutes.
Yes, that's good.
Is the 2 minute signal okay for you, or would you like
About 2 minutes signal. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like mirroring reflections and anything that you think might be beneficial to the experience.
Great. Yeah, and how do you want to start? Do you need a moment to come back in?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I like to just share for a moment during the focusing with the anger that I did find different situation and the people for me to be angry with
Mm.
a long time. However, it didn't feel right, like to choose any of those.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like the anger was actually active toward them. And I was curious about it, and then I realized, oh, it's all about me. Like the anger, if I kind of pick it up from all the situations and people and kind of everything, it turns back to me.
Mm. Yeah, and where do you feel that the anger turns back to you in your body? Do you have it now?
Mm. Right now, it's somewhere in my belly.
Mm. Yeah, sensing it now in your belly. Are there qualities you could use to describe what's happening in the belly?
It's interesting because it turned into a hollow space. First, I felt it like concentrated.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me well?
Yes. Yeah.
But then I tried to stay with it and get it to know better, and it turned into a hollow space,
Mm.
like empty.
Yeah. So
empty.
staying with that concentrated energy to get to know it better changed it into a hollow space.
And now there is like something like a vibration at the surface of my neck and shoulders and face, eyes.
And that also brings some vibration in your neck and shoulders, and also your face, your eyes. Are there new emotions there other than anger, or is it still on the anger?
Oh, there is sadness.
Sadness, yeah. Yeah, is it okay to welcome the sadness?
That's a little bit more difficult to welcome this sadness,
Hmm.
even though I usually do when I'm on my own.
Mm-hmm.
And I
And
think it has to do with the anger against the sadness. And
oh,
like there is a part of me that kind of comes forward saying, yeah, you are always the one that is messed up. So
oh,
yeah, so I should show no sadness, I should feel no sadness. That's what that part of me thinks, even though I know there is, I know I feel it, and I know it has a right to be. So
mm-hmm.
yeah.
This has a right to be. And then there's another something in you that says, no, it doesn't want it to be. And it's angry at the sadness. Did I get that right?
Yes. There are some contradictions in there.
Hmm.
They happen like in the heart space, all the big heart space. It's like it's the anger against myself, then the sadness, and then the anger against the sadness. And then other part thinking and saying, I have no right to give in to the sadness because I need to. I'm the one in action. I'm the one that holds space for the others and the fixer-upper, which all call onto. And then there is another feeling coming in reaction to that, saying, all I want is quit
Wow.
and lock the world out. I need to just leave me alone.
Yeah. Now we have this sense of a fixer-upper who takes care of things, and then another sense of wanting to quit and leave me alone. And
Yeah,
that,
the fixer-upper is very tired, and some anger belongs to him because this is a masculine energy.
Yeah.
Just a part of it belongs to him. There are many parts there, and it's like a war against each other. Like, hey.
Oh. Yes, you can feel that the fixer-upper is a male energy, and it's tired. He's tired.
Yeah. The fixer-upper wants to pick up. What I see now, like images, is as if the fixer-upper just picked up all the things, put them in a luggage, which locked. Fixer-upper wants to throw that luggage with all the things inside, throw it away, and just retreat and be completely alone. As
Mm.
what is the one screaming, leave me alone.
He's screaming, leave me alone.
Yes.
He wants to get rid of everything.
And as I say that, I really feel in my chest this squeezing.
Uh-huh. Yeah, now there's this squeezing in your chest.
And of course, there is that part of me coming in again saying, you have no right to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Feel this, just push it down.
Would it be okay? We have about 3 minutes left.
Mm.
Maybe ask that fixer-upper what it's not wanting for you in trying to
Yeah.
throw all those things in the locked up chest away. What's it not wanting for you? See if that resonates.
to be crushed by all the others that I'm carrying.
Mm.
He's afraid that I would be. It comes a point, and he feels that it comes a point where I would end up being crushed.
Mm.
I do not choose to actually give him the time to retreat.
Yeah. So if you don't let him have a break and retreat, he thinks he's going to get crushed.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. What happens in your body now as we come to the end?
A little bit better. It's a little bit more relaxation, like more space.
Mm.
Yeah, as if that makes sense. So,
Mm.
and I can hold that without fighting.
Mm. Yeah, it's making sense that he feels like he'll be crushed.
Yes.
Uh-huh. And that creates some space in you. Is there anything else he wants to say? A fixer-upper?
I think he wants to say thank you
Oh.
for being listened to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's a good place
That's a good place to
for me
stop.
to come to an end and
Yeah.
be grateful for all my parts,
Mm-hmm.
process, and to you for holding space for me.
Yeah, you're welcome. So I'll invite you to stay with it and thank your body for all of that, and thank yourself for taking the time to listen. And then I'll take the spotlights off, and as we come back to the group, we'll invite everybody now to pause, right? And you might just notice what's happening in your body now, what's coming now, or it could have come in witnessing and observing and holding space for Ivana as you observed her session. And inviting you, if you'd like to share what's coming, either as a physically felt thing, an emotion, or a physical sensation, or maybe it comes as a word or a phrase or an image, a metaphor. Saying something like when I heard you say, I got, whatever it is, or in being with the whole thing, this is what comes. So using I language. Yeah. Just take a moment to see what's coming. And then invite you to just unmute yourself if you'd like to share. Mark?
Thank you. I was just getting prepared for when it was my turn to share about this focusing. I didn't mean to assert myself into the space again.
Ah, okay. You don't have a reflection.
I have, but I don't want to go first. Or I don't know what I want. There are two different parts that are fighting. How about that?
Okay, we've got more fight energy. Mm-hmm.
The word crushed really started resonating, and I kind of went into my own world. And the sensation that's there is this kind of really long-standing, just held sense in the bottom of the abdomen, the lowest bit before it goes into the legs, just holding there.
Thanks for sharing.
Thank you.
It's what I would say that, and this I came into the meeting today feeling like, oh God, I'm not angry this morning. Maybe I should have just enjoyed the calm. Do I really want to open up this box? And as I was listening to you, I did find something that needs more attention. It's amazing that it can happen over Zoom, as you were describing your thoughts and sensations. I was like, oh, that's right. There's my particular thing that goes with some of those thoughts and sensations. So thank you.
Yeah. Having listened to Ivana, I really feel like a squeezing at the bottom of my heart. It's a familiar sensation. I've had it before. So that's what comes in my body. Yeah. Feels like it squeezes like a cone. Yeah. Any other reflections? Ivana?
I have one.
Yeah.
Ivana, I think there was a point at which you said there are many of them. It's like a war, and I saw your hands move like this. And I don't quite know how to describe the sensation. It feels sort of like a zooming out of perspective. Oh, it's not just one or two figures. Oh, I see many, as though suddenly my body was shifted in a way where I could see or hear more of what was happening. And I resonated with that sense of, oh, there's a lot more happening than I thought.
Ivana, do you want to say anything, having heard some of those reflections? Does anything else come?
I'm just grateful to all of you and your reflections and holding with me my own process.
Beautiful. Okay, so now we get to have a fight. Or maybe not.
I vote for me.
Right? Did you say you vote for me?
Yeah.
Vote for your
And I want to hear everyone's full out expression of what they want. But you all will do what you choose, and that's perfect.
And Jeff?
Yeah, well, Annette, is this under the theory that let's have a man go now?
Yeah, I guess.
I know I'm pretty used in group situations when there's scarce time or scarce turns to back off and nicely say, you go first, it's cool. And I like to look like a little bit of a martyr for giving him some entitlement. Yeah.
Jeff, would you like to listen, maybe?
Listen to Mark in front of folks, take your role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I'd be happy to do that. Sure.
Wow.
Okay. Is that okay, Mark?
It's exciting because we've had some interaction in which both of our anger seemed to come out.
That's actually so true. Yep.
Okay.
I'm a little bit hesitant to engage in that way in front of you, Annette, because I know that my own anger has come out in the past, and I don't want to. I'll risk it if it seems good to you and to everyone, and to you, Jeff. Let's go. It's good. I might be there. I might be involved enough. I might be ready. Yeah. Thank you.
You might be.
Yeah.
Mark, is a 2-minute signal okay for you?
Can you do 3?
Yes, I can do 3.
Thank
Okay,
you.
great. You can begin.
So what's there right now is like there's a heldness on my toes, which often happens. Like it's like they're waiting to see should they like hold on or grip, or is it safe to just let them rest on the ground? there's an image of like a gladiator combat, and we are about to engage in this thing arena with we're fighting it out to death at death. And I want to let that go very, very, very consciously and mindfully and as a whole self, so that I can be with you, Jeff, here, be with you guys in this way. Just coming back to the lowest part of the abdomen, clenched part, crushed feeling.
So I heard tension. And
Yeah,
the
the
word
lowest
fear
place.
came to me.
What?
The word fear came to me.
Fear. It's like there is a gripping, like a resentment like a resentment slash survival, like from way, 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 way back, all the way back, with my dad shushing us at the dinner table and squelching everything, all of my everything. Not sure whether it's safe to go all the way back to that, but that's there. The kind of rage and squelched and not like no choice to express. Sort of like it's going to take a long time to let this go.
I heard you
The
say,
whole
I'm
body
not
there's
sure.
the whole body there's a heldness that's connected to that. That's like one piece that's connected with that deep down, deep one in the gut, deepest, connected with a heldness and a kind of a layer of heldness or mask or like armor type thing in the front of my body. Goes all the way from my toes to the top of my head. It's going all the way back to just the body. Armor, hell's deepest place. And then an awareness of like your face there, what you're thinking or what staring at me, reading me, or giving me something. And that's kind of thinking. I'm going to kind of go down to the simpler level. But yeah, that is there also. Yeah. 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 That crushed feeling, the word crushed, like holding and holding and holding, and that's kind of fighting. It's like the held thing is like almost like a military disciplined stance of like, I will survive, nothing will defeat me. I'm going to survive everything and emerge victorious somehow, no matter what. And the crushed feeling is another part which just feels so weak and droopy, like around the shoulders, kind of closing in, just kind of frozen, weak. So that's there too.
Here, that there's a strong held part low down and a weak, droopy part in your shoulders.
Yeah, along the top part from shoulder to shoulder, just kind of like it should be strong right there, but it just is kind of folded like a victim, like no defenses. And there's a quality, there's a sense of shame about that, like how that appears to the world, and not wanting to let that be seen.
3 minutes left.
Thank you. There's a kind of vibration, sort of like a fear of, oh my God, I've opened this up and it's not going to be resolved. and kind of like the larger self smiling and trusting that in the processes and the practices that I will come back to this. And there's a lot of appreciation for this. And I moved at the new experience of working with you, Jeff, and of everyone holding the space for this. It's very touching, and it's a great treasure.
I'm resonating with what you're saying. Given our history.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. How are you guys doing? Thank you. Well, everyone is here with us. I feel taken care of and attended to. How are you all doing? What was your experience like?
Are you making a joke, Mark, or are you genuinely?
Oh no,
in
I'm
the room?
actually fully with what I mean. I think there's a part of like wanting to appear generous and kind, but I feel it all, throughout. There's a warm feeling of appreciation and love and sharing and wanting to include everyone. Yeah. Thanks for that.
I can share something. Hello. I just wanted to share, I guess, what's going on inside of me, or something I definitely noticed with you guys, Mark and Jeff. I'm being kind of quiet today because yeah, it's just a lot. I think just a little sensitive today to energy, like inner energy, and so I've just been kind of like sitting with some frustration after Ivana's turn, which is fine. Frustration's fine. That's not a big deal. But what was really interesting was, Annette, when we were kind of honing into anger at the beginning of the session, when you're asking like what it needs next, I just kept getting this answer of like it needs water. And I was getting a little frustrated at that because I was like, what do you mean? And I just let it go, or tried to let it go. But actually, so at the beginning, Mark and Jeff, I have of you guys sort of focusing, I think, right when Jeff, I was feeling a little uncomfortable. It's like my body was really reacting to what was happening, where I was just fidgety and I just felt like I wasn't comfortable. And the minute Jeff mentioned the word tension, it's like, that's what it was. So it was really interesting that I felt that. And Mark, like when you were describing like the holding in your feet and the gripping, it's like it's like intuitively my body kind of did this forward stance. My body almost like gripped in the same ways you were describing. So that, I don't know, I guess just empathically, I just wanted to feel into that. And so there's this sort of like, maybe I can't verbalize it, but like somatic understanding of when you were speaking, I was really, really feeling it. I really felt it. And it's it's so interesting because I felt a lot of tension and almost like this kind of like frustration rising, hearing you speak, but it wasn't about what you were saying at all, to make that clear. It was just what was happening inside me. And I think it was just like hearing, because you were talking quite a bit. And I think it was that, just like the quantity of words that were being said. And I had this moment where I went, oh, he needs water.
I do.
Just,
I
it
feel a
just
little
like,
dehydrated. Yeah.
So, and as soon as that happened, you and Jeff I felt it, like there was sort of this like, near the end, I think right before Annette had said the 3 minutes, like, I think because you were so open about it and just sort of letting it run through you as it was running through you. But I actually felt it with you, like the tension kind of rising, and then it kind of near the end of the session. So I just wanted to
There.
that was really interesting. I think it's the first time I've ever really like somatically kind of honed in what was happening. So thank you guys so much for sharing that.
Thank you. I got my water.
Nice.
Thank you. Yeah, that this body senses of do I need to pee? Do I need to poop? Do I need to drink water? A lot of times they're just blocked off. So yeah, it's super cool.
No, you just need to stay at the dinner table.
Yeah. Pay attention. Don't disturb your mother.
Powerful stuff. I'll invite us all to pause just for a moment and see what else is coming. If anybody else has a reflection for Mark and Jeff to some degree, who's listening. Mhm.
I do.
Okay, go ahead.
There were two moments. One in the beginning when you said about the dinner table and that resentment where the father like squishing down everyone and everything. It was something in me that came up. It was, am I doing this to my children?
Oh,
And I recognize something so reactive in me every time when somebody is sharing or I see children suffering. I go immediately, am I doing this to my children? Am I making them suffer or like, yeah, messing them up completely? And then when you were describing with the war and the one that comes victorious, that fights all the fights and wins everything and comes, and still another one feeling like a victim. And the way you describe that fit what I have been processing and feeling so well, much better than I was able to say. It was really resonated with me. And I had this realization that the one that, for me, the one that comes out victorious, the only one comes out of the war with a flag in the hand and puts the flag down. The victorious one is the victim of whoever he needs to fight for not being his or her fight.
wow. That's quite an experience hearing you speak this. I'm really touched that, my doing this created some value for you. And I'm kind of imagining and feeling what you're saying. And yeah, I think, yeah, it's kind of big stuff, universal. And thank you.
Thank you too.
Yeah. Okay, Jeff.
Hey, Mark.
Hey.
I resonated at a couple points. I think you described shame, something about people watching you or with the droopy shoulders, not wanting to show people. That resonated. Yeah. I noticed I closed my eyes and kind of drooped myself. Maybe closing my eyes to avoid being seen or feeling as though I was being looked at.
Mm-hmm.
And also when you said, how's everybody doing? I imagined sort of attempted to take control of the spotlight of the situation and turn it around.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
I really, really resonated with you choosing to do that at that moment. Or I wonder if it felt like a choice for you.
To answer the question, it didn't feel like a choice. It kind of just came out. And then you said what you said. And I sort of immediately defended against that before even having time to consider what the meanings of the words were. And now that you say it now, I'm like, oh, yeah, I really was doing that. I don't know how much of a lie it was to say that I was really being generous, but I felt the warmth in my body and the intention of, really bringing everyone together and wanting to contribute and curiosity to know. But, sounds a bit like intellectualizing at this moment because a lot of words are happening. So yeah, thank you so much for that.
Sure. I want to say, Mark, since I've last interacted with you, it seems like you've really changed in a way that I'm enjoying.
And working hard. Thank you.
Good job. I want to give you gold star.
Thank you, teacher.
Nice. Anybody else have a reflection for Mark before we switch to breakout rooms? One-on-one sharing.
Well, it's the first time I attend the empathy circle. Also, I'm practice focusing for a long time, but lately I was practicing alone, which is not a very usual way, which means, it was not that easy for me. And also I have hearing problems. I mean, soon I'll get some hearing aids. So I was kind of multiple handicapped, okay? So I won't go into breakout rooms, but here's my contribution, which is not in the focusing mode, but still, say from a Tibetan Buddhist point of view, there's some basic emotions, and you have a main emotion, and anger is my main emotion. Okay, and they say this is something very interesting. They say if your main emotion is anger, it's the seed of wisdom, and it's a seed of a special wisdom, which is mirror-like wisdom, which means you see things, but then you have to handle the mirror, what you see in the mirror. So it's a path, and for me, I feel I'm very angry, basically. It's my main response. And I feel ambiguous towards that because I like anger because it makes me feel alive, And from what
Yeah.
from what I heard, uh, uh, for instance, I think Ewana, I mean, behind anger, she found sadness or fear, and if you move from anger to, and this is not positive energy, you disconnect from life, and for me, hearing that, what's behind anger for one of you and how you react to that. So this is what came to my mind there. So what I'm saying, it doesn't look very embodied, but I share what came for me. So I'm grateful. I won't get into the breakout room, and I'm thankful. Thankful. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to
Okay.
go.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
I need to go, and I'll pause the
Okay.
recording. Yeah, welcome back. We have minutes left. And we can take a few shares on the recording and then say goodbye on the recording, and then we can always have some small chat afterwards too. Yeah, does anybody want to share what happened? Yeah, Jeff.
Well, I notice I'm wanting to say that I'm glad I came today and I'm grateful to be here, and I want to name Ivana as my partner for her holding, and I really appreciated it. It felt good to me, and I imagine it helped and was special and skillful. Yeah, and it's Mark, it's good to see you again.
Good to
And
see
I
you.
found it really poignant to witness you in front of everyone on this theme today, given how we've communicated about it, you and I, in the past. So, and Annette, it's good to see you, and thank you for your leadership.
Mm,
Yeah.
welcome. Thanks. Thank you for participating in the project. We were just saying before you guys came back in, there's a project to share focusing. Those who don't aren't brave enough yet to come in person, but maybe they will later.
Yeah, I know. I'm pretty sure that I've gotten some friends of mine to show up at your sessions when I haven't been here.
Cool. Nice. Beautiful. Yeah. Would somebody else like to share?
I'll just say quickly that it was really good to talk about like the public sessions helped me think of something. I thought I didn't have anything today, but I did.
Yeah.
Have some old stuff that I really wanted to process. Without blaming anyone or anything in particular, I do really wish that we'd had more time for the breakout sessions or to do more than one breakout session or something. But anyway, it was good what we got. That's,
Well, maybe you can invite somebody to continue to meet.
Happy that I've made it today and I got to be a focuser and companion as well. And I was just talking to Jeff before we automatically got back in the big room. I was saying how interesting is to see, not only in myself, but in others as well, how they're kind of these parts like arguing and being contradictory and is like fighting with each other. And it's like looking at a family with children different ages like fighting against them, and instead of kind of playing or trying to work things out, at least like make an alliance with a to benefit, like let's make an alliance to get what we need from the parents, and instead it's like throwing fists and fighting to each other.
Yeah.
Funny.
Yeah. It makes me think of fractals, right? Every
Mhm.
internal world is a fractal.
Yes.
Our family is a fractal of society, the whole world. There's all kinds of groups and fighting. Too much fighting. Lovely. Well, thanks everybody. We'll say goodbye. We don't have the next topic picked, so if you have ideas, send them to me. And we'll officially say goodbye for the recording.
Okay, goodbye.
Yeah.